in the last 2 years, we lifted 10.5 million people out of poverty.
President Muhammadu Buhari, on June 12, Democracy Day, said his government has lifted 10.5 million Nigerians out of poverty in the last 2 years. Is this true or false? Don't worry, I'll dissect that for you. Welcome to Premium Times on the Go. I am Titilope Fadari. Hey, quick one. I'm sure some of you have heard of James Sibori and the over 4.2 million euros that was stolen by him. But for you, do you think paying ransom is a viable means to end insecurity? The president specifically mentioned those that have been lifted out of poverty to include farmers, artisans, market women, and small-scale traders. But how true is the claim that 10.5 million Nigerians have been lifted out of poverty in the last 2 years? Of course, trust Premium Times, we did a fact check. The last poverty survey in 2019 from the National Bureau of Statistics showed that 40% of the Nigerian population, or almost 83 million people, live below the poverty line, which was based on data from the Nigerian Living Standards Survey conducted with support from the World Bank's Poverty Global Practice. The World Poverty Clock, on the other hand, in 2019, put the number of people living in extreme poverty in Nigeria at 77.9 million, or 39% of the population, while the country's total population then stood at 199 million. The number of people living in extreme poverty later jumped to 84.8 million, representing 41% of the population in 2020. In June 2021, the number of Nigerians living in extreme poverty has increased slightly to 86.8 million, representing 41% of the nation's 209 million population. In effect, the data from the World Poverty Clock shows that within the 2-year period referenced by Buhari, at least 10 million Nigerians slipped into extreme poverty rather than come out of it, as the president claimed. The two major programs touted to have lifted the farmers, artisans, and market women out of poverty are the Anchor Borrowers Program, specifically for farmers, and the National Social Investment Programs for others. Although the poverty alleviation initiatives of the government have been commended in some quarters, the implementation phases have been riddled with allegations of fraud and faulty models. Moving on, have you been to the market recently? What are the prices of tomatoes and pepper, or eggs, or better still, chicken? This is aside other foodstuff. The prices of foodstuff have consistently soared. The data that validates the price increase follows Nigeria's inflation rates, which fell for the second consecutive month in May to 17% from 18.12% recorded a month earlier. Also, food inflation rose in May to 22.28% compared with 22.72% in April 2021, causing an increase in food prices. This inflation is said to be caused by the following factors: attacks on farms, forex scarcity, and naira devaluation. You can find these reports on our website here and here. Despite all these figures, the president claims his government has lifted 10.5 billion Nigerians out of poverty in the past 2 years. So, we would like to know, have you been a beneficiary of the government's programs targeted at alleviating poverty in Nigeria? If yes, has any of the programs lifted you out of poverty? Let's know in the comment section. This is Premium Times on the Go. I am Titilope Fadari.